Hi everyone, Dave here with a new lesson for you. Today we're going to look at another one of my Instagram guitar licks. This one's in the key of B minor and uses legato technique as well as a little bit of hybrid picking. I'm going to put links in the description box below for the tabs and the backing track that I use at the end of the video. Okay, let's go in for a close-up. This lick is in the key of B minor and it basically uses an ascending B minor 7 arpeggio and then it finishes on like a set of B minor pentatonic run basically. Okay, so I'm playing this in kind of a triplet form, but we'll get into some rhythmic variations as we go along. Even though it's kind of triplet based, the first set of notes are kind of grouped in fours, so it kind of creates this kind of cross rhythm effect as we play. Okay, let's get into it anyway. So the first four notes, I'm starting on the D string, I'm hammering on 9 to 12, then 11 G, 10 B, and I'm down picking, hammer, down pick, and then middle finger plays the fourth note. So down, hammer, down, middle finger. Okay. Right, the next four is going to go 12 on the D, 11 G, then 10 hammering on to 12 on the B. And the way that's being played is down, middle finger, down, hammer. Now the next four, that's 11 G, then all on the B goes hammer from 10, 12 to 15. And I'm picking down, middle finger, and then the rest are hammer-ons. So that kind of gives you, even though they're in groups of four, I'm playing them in triplet form, so it's like. Again, when you listen to the original, you'll get the idea. Okay, so that's the first kind of group, two groups of six, if you like. Right, the next bit is actually a group of six. And for that, on the E string, I pick down, then the rest is hammer pull-offs, 14, 17, 14, 12. And then I finish off with 15 on the B with a down pick. And then I think of this in groups of four mainly, but again it's all triplet fill. So let's just take the first bit, 14 to 12 on the E, middle finger pulling off. I'll do this all in one lump actually. I'm going to pick down on the 15 on the B. This is all on the B string. 15, pull off onto 12, then 17, 15, 12. And it's all just one slur. Then I'm going to go 14 on the G, downstroke, 15, 12 on the B, that's middle finger, pull off, and then 14, 11 on the G, downstroke, pull off, and then 12 on the B with the middle finger. So I'll play it really slowly, the whole thing. There you go, that's the whole lick. Now, as well as learning the lick, I always find the thing that I need to do next, once I've comfortably played the sequence and it's familiar enough, is to find ways of getting into the lick. So I try and these days avoid just having a big gap and then launching into the lick. I like the idea of being able to smoothly come out of a set of notes, and so it's more seamless. I think that's the way I'd want us to think about it. So probably one of the first things you need to do is identify where it is within the scheme of things. So yeah, I'm in B there. But another way I might think about it is that in terms of pentatonic boxes. So this is really the kind of pentatonic shape number 2, if you like. If you think of number 1 as being our favourite one, then number 2 is the same scale but in the next position. That way it's kind of easier to kind of find ways of getting into it. So 2 approaches I'm going to take today is a few ways of coming out of position 1 into the lick, and then there'll also be 1 or 2 where I actually play it within position 2. So starting off position 1, I think about finding ways of coming in. So I'm going to do these with 4 notes before, and I'm going to end on a different note each time going into the lick. So this is out of position 1, just playing 4 notes in the middle, and then I'm aware I've got to move up 2 frets to start the lick, and so for that I'm just picking down, pull off, down, pull off, and then starting the lick as I would normally, and carrying on, and so on. Okay, another way that we could do the same thing is, instead of moving up and then picking, I could just slide from the 7, and then that slide actually starts the lick. Like so. Incidentally, even though I'm playing the entry notes as kind of straight 16th notes, you could swing it. You could do that thing where you got a kind of a quaver followed by a 16th note triplet, that sort of thing, rather than. So feel free to play around with that. Okay, here's another one. Again, like I say, I'm starting from different points. So, yeah, pentatonic on the B string, and then pulling off on the G string, so that's 10-7, 9-7. And then I'm going to land on my start note of the lick with a downstroke, and then I'm going to use a slide rather than a hammer to launch the lick. Yep. Okay. Right, so there's 3 examples coming out of pentatonic position number 1, if you like. Feel free to play around with this. I like to have a few of these kind of under my fingers, and then hopefully over time I'll find more natural ways of getting into the lick. But I find having a few strategies really does help. Okay, the next couple are going to be in pentatonic position number 2. And this time I've just put 3 notes in front. So it could be or it could be, 16th note rest. So it's the E and 4 E and then into the lick. So this is me putting off 11 to 9 on the G, 12 on the D, and then to launch the lick, it's actually starting with a hammer, a pull off onto the 9. And whatever left hand fingering you want to do, I find that if I'm playing in this, I might start with my little finger, but if you're more comfortable stretching out with your 3rd finger, then do that. I find I tend to swap my fingers out though. Little finger, and then when I come to re-hammer it, then I put my 3rd finger on. Like that. But again, whatever makes sense to you, basically. Right, now this one, same position, I thought it'd be nice to have a note that starts from underneath the lick. So there I've got 9 on the G, 12, 9 on the D, 12 on the A. This is the note underneath, and the way I've got that middle finger, downstroke, pull off, downstroke. And this time I'm going to start the lick, instead of normally with a downstroke, I'm going to start it with my middle finger and then do the hammer on. Like that. So having a few kind of different approaches on how you can start the lick, I think the more flexible you can be with that, the easier it is to kind of integrate it within your playing. So having a few options, I think, definitely helps. And so on. Okay, so I've done all of these licks with, well, the actual lick itself with triplets, but another way you could treat this is playing it as straight 16th notes. I've done a quick recording with some drums underneath it so you can hear it a bit more clearly. And in some ways this lick is more kind of straight based than it is triplet. So I think whenever you get a lick like this where there's no rhythmic variation between the notes, they're all very evenly spaced, you can play around with either playing them straight or playing them with a triplet feel. And if you want to be even more adventurous, you could start inserting rests, but for this sort of thing I think it works if I just kind of go between triplets and straight fills. So it's another way you can get a bit more mileage out of this this set of notes, if you like. Okay, so you're now going to hear me play it as a straight fill. Okay guys, that's about it for this lesson. I have also recorded a sample solo incorporating this lick, as well as a few other little kind of legato triplet licks that I've learned along the way from people like Tom Quayle and Rick Graham. And I find creating these little solo studies is a great way of kind of incorporating these licks and ingraining them into your playing. So I hope you enjoyed the solo. It was a bit of fun on my part. And I will see you for a lesson again in the near future. Take care guys.